Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Build Value by Choice. I'm your host, Bonsu, President and CEO of Infinite Horizons Incorporated. We help business owners scale the value of their business without increasing cost or getting them trapped in your business. You may visit us at www.infhorizons.com. And also don't forget to subscribe, download this episode, and share with your friends, as well as on our YouTube channel. Now to today's guest. Our guest today is Goshorn. Greg established G2 Internet Solutions back in 2013 in IT and in the internet space. His agency has grown and he's worked with small businesses and Fortune 500 companies. His expertise is in digital marketing with a specialization in reputation and video marketing, conversion, and business consulting. His determination, energy, and passion for small businesses continue to drive the growth behind G2 Internet Solutions and online local video. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Woo, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. You're really passionate about this, and I'm so glad I get to talk to you about digital marketing, because businesses are always looking to acquire customers, and obviously, especially in this day and age, one of the main channels is digital. So I want to ask you, first of all, just by way of intro, what led you to found G2 Internet Solutions?
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for having me, first of all. And so G2, Greg Goshorn, G2, right?
Yeah.
And we got going on this. I was graduated with honors in IT, so we spent all these years in IT and technical, and then I was on the internet like I'm mid 90s, man, and it was really neat, but it was rough days, man, dial up and all of that, but I just loved how we could connect. I mean, I was on back when it was just like DOS text only stuff, but then in the early 2000s, like the World Wide Web came around and it really changed, and I thought, well, I want to embrace this. And so that was really the start of the G2 Internet Solutions service and brand.
Cool. So yeah, clearly you're an OG in this space. What is the difference between video marketing and other forms of marketing?
Video marketing and what?
Other forms of marketing. There's other forms. There's
Oh, well, sure. Well, this whole online game is so big. So if we're going to talk about other forms of marketing, I mean, there's digital, there's print, there's billboards, there's broadcast, right? Mm-hmm. So video, I'm blessed. Like it was like 9 years ago, I thought video was going to really be big online. So we've dug into it and helped people ever since. And it turns out that it just keeps going. And so there's a bunch of ways that it really helps. I got an ebook about it. So there's really 5 big ways. I'll name a couple of them here. SEO, baby, especially these days. Google loads YouTube. People want to consume video. That's one of the top things they're looking for. Mm-hmm. The other great stuff is it kind of humanizes the sales process. You get in front of people. And probably, I don't know, they're all my favorite. Probably my favorite is the leverage. So if you invest your time, energy, money, right, into video, first of all, that's part of the talk we're going to dig into today, how it's a long-term asset, but really the leverage. You can make one video and use it, website, Facebook, LinkedIn, landing page. I mean, so many ways.
Right. And what is the biggest challenge in your mind when it comes to reputation management online?
Ooh-wee. Good question. And so again, blessed to have this idea like 6 years ago that reviews and reputation was going to be big. So we've dug into that and been subject matter expert in the field. And again, these are both like what we call like 90th percentile things, like 90% of people watched the video in the last couple of weeks. And then the newest numbers are like 98% of people look at reviews when trying to decide who to do business with. So it's undeniable that you got to get in there. You got to get in the game. Otherwise, it's going to happen without you. So get in and be proactive about it.
Are you able to demonstrate, just the process of, video marketing and online reviews, that whole process?
Uh, sure, that's going to be in our talk. We have some overall ways and some how-tos, right, built into
Right,
that.
right, right. When it comes to business consulting, what is the one piece of advice that you find yourself giving over and over again?
Ooh, good question. Get going. Like there's get started, right? And it's a good one for life too, of all of these choices and all of these things. Get started, like have an idea. We talk about failing forward, like your first video isn't going to be good, your first podcast isn't going to be good, but you can think about it or you can do it and see how it works out and fail forward.
Right. And as far as conversion, how do you optimize conversion, and what is the most important thing when it comes to optimizing your conversion?
Whoo, boy, that's another one. I have convert website visitors into cash.com for like 10 years too, because that's the whole point is like, how do you get them? There's that big word funnel these days, but you had to get them through there. And these tools are super valuable. We've talked on how, video helps accelerate the sales process. You get more touches, they see you more often. And then the reputation side of the world, we have our little thing like, getting found, and videos help with that, right? The SEO and getting chosen. So this is big. This is where the reputation really comes in. So Forbes had an article that 70% of the buyer's journey happens before they ever talk to you, before you get a chance to say, hi, how can I help you? So that's where you really can win in the conversion, is getting chosen. So getting found, and then they're gonna check you out. Like, do people trust you? Do you have enough reviews? Do you have enough recent reviews? That helps with conversion.
And what are some of the specific tools or strategies you recommend to improve a company's reputation online?
Oh boy, that's a great question, and deep too. We have a full service, reputation agency, but let's make no mistake, a lot of people can do a bunch of this themselves, and you got to start with the king. You got to start with Google. Get a Google business profile right in the dashboard. You can get a share link to ask for reviews. So that's one of the big ones is ask. Make a QR code, put it into email signature. A bunch of those ways are really the way to dig in and get started.
Do you think small businesses are at a disadvantage when it comes to managing online reputations as opposed to, for instance, larger businesses?
It's a good one. We work with a lot of small businesses, and one of the challenges is probably time, right? That's what some of the business owners will decide to outsource and have us do it. So we have a do it yourself, a done with you, a done for you. So there's so many things to do. So probably the time is a disadvantage maybe of a smaller business. They don't have the manpower, the man hours to throw at everything they know they should be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the playing field's pretty even. I mean, the Google business profile is for everybody, and everybody can leverage it.
Does the online reputation system, does it favor specific industries over others, or is this pretty uniform?
Yeah, we're a student of this, and we follow all these stats year after year, and there's ones where people have lots more reviews, by count. Mm-hmm. Restaurants, travel, probably you see reviews in the hundreds or thousands or more. Mm-hmm. Smaller places and automotive and doctors and medical would be lower. I mean, so it's all important, but certainly ones that get a lot more reviews, are in some of those categories, right?
Mm-hmm. And how do businesses, identify any negative reviews that that may be online that they may not be aware of? How can they be more proactive about it?
Yes, yeah, I love your questions, man. You're spot on. You got to know what's going on out there, and so historically, it was called, reputation, monitoring, right? Our
Mhm.
reputation, management. That's part of it. We have a 3-pillar thing. So you manage, build, and market. And so this is in the management column, right?
Mhm.
So you can set Google alerts if you're doing like a do-it-yourself thing. Like when does your name come up? You should have like a calendar thing to go look at your profile. Good, actually, Google will tell you, right? If you're talking to Google itself, even though
Mhm.
they're not the only review platform. I mean, the people leave reviews on Google and Yelp and TripAdvisor and all these other directories. But a good system, like our system, has a monitoring and notification system built in. But you could also do it yourself.
Well, now if a business finds a negative review, if you find a negative review for your clients, how do you recommend they approach it? Do they contact the person that left the review, or do they just kind of use that information to improve? What is the process? What's the best practice?
Yeah, so it may seem counterintuitive. We think negative reviews are an opportunity. And we have a protocol and a procedure, and we love sharing this part of it because you should approach it properly. Now they're going to sting, right? Like nobody needs to hear anything bad.
Right.
And the world's not perfect. Things can go wrong. So you want to approach it professionally. You want to address it online, and you want to think about this. There's 2 layers. There's one layer you're dealing with that person in that review, and that's like the micro layer.
Mhm.
And so, be smart, handle it well, try to get them offline, try to get a conversation, but have this lens. The macro view is that everybody's going to watch how you handle your business, right? How you handle yourself, how you handle an issue. So that we know that the people that read reviews always read the negative reviews. And so you don't want to be the restaurant owner that's like, yeah, you and your loud kids, don't ever come back. You want to be the guy who's a total pro and says, look, we're sorry. That's not to our standard. And so all of those people later will see, well, if something might go wrong, they would take care of me like they took care of this guy.
Right. That's a great answer and great advice. Now, I want to be able to get into your process, your whole video marketing process. Can you like talk us through just what your process is? You talk about your 3 pillars. Can you kind of demo it and talk to us about what your process is?
Well, we'll cover a bunch of that if we're going to fire up the presentation. We give some tips like which ones to make, how to make them, and stuff like that, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're building permanent digital assets. And we touched on this in the beginning, is that there's so many things to do in the online world, and small businesses and big businesses need to be aware of how they're spending, every dollar and every minute. So we say this stuff is one of the highest and best uses of your time, right? Because when you do it, it's going to stay there for you. It's not just going to get washed away in a social media feed or something, right?
Right.
So these are the 2 things, video and reviews to improve your online presence. And this is the overview slide, and we focus on these because they're the highest and best use of your time. Now, what we can talk about here is what we do when we present. We love to lead with value. It's one of our core things. And so we'll have a complimentary ranking and reputation analysis. And then there is a giveaway that he will tell you about. So stay tuned. And I said this before, reviews and videos are searched for and watched by like 90% of the folks on the internet on a weekly or daily basis. So this is a high impact thing. You're doing things that people want. And they have staying power because they stay online virtually forever. So let's talk about reviews. They're really not going to take them down. Like there's 10 ways that Google will take one down if it's fraudulent or it wasn't your customer. But basically, when you get a review, it's going to stay there. And the videos are mostly user controlled. Like, you put them up, and so they're going to stay up there until you take them down. And here's the point. The longer they're up, the better chance they are of getting indexed by Google. So we can do some amazing things, like we can rank videos in days, hours, sometimes in minutes, right? And I've got videos that have been ranked, since like 2015, 2016, so they can stay ranked also. So how is that for power, right?
Mm-hmm.
This slide actually, here's a screenshot for like 10p video marketing showing a video from 2015. And we're going to dig in. So it's kind of two parts. There's reviews and video. We're going to talk about reviews first. And the why. Well, you look at reviews, product,
Social proof. Yeah.
social proof, but
Yeah.
everyone else does, right?
Yeah.
And the stats are here, 97% consumers, 18 to 34, read reviews, 92% read. And these are older, like the new numbers are like 98%, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an undeniable force. And so every day, customers are looking for services like you online, right? And this screen would show something like how they search, like dentist, West Palm Beach, or appliance repair, Denver, right? And so if they did that, and then all of a sudden they start looking at these choices, right? They find 3 services. It's like service A, 4 good reviews, 2 bad reviews. Service B, no reviews. Service C, 6 5-star reviews. Well, which one would you choose to contact? So this is where we're talking about winning, we're getting chosen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And another biggie, they're literally a must-have to compete online, right? I mean, they're just a major part. So Google, of course, right? But there's social media. You can get, reviews and recommendations on Facebook, LinkedIn, these other places, right? Directories. You may not go to some of these online directories, but lots of people do. There's a lot of power to be in there. They help with SEO, right? You'll see stars in search engine results.
Yeah. So SEO is basically search engine optimization, where if you can, like for people that may not be technical, what is SEO exactly, and why is it important?
Well, and that is it. And this is a big thing. So it is basically getting ranked in the search engines, right? And here's the beauty. That is an absolute byproduct of doing reviews right. SEO is sort of a guessing game because they change the rules, like what works now changes. Google will do, an update, and they have different, things that matter. But let's be clear. Reviews are a known part of the Google algorithm. 10%, 12%, it changes over time. But guess what? Never gets taken out of the consideration of Google reviews. You're not, it's no guessing. It's no guessio, I call it, right? Like you do this and it matters because it matters to people. And Google knows that people care about it. Google wants to make sure that the businesses are taking good care of people. And that's shown in the reviews, quantity and quality. And we talked about it earlier, and I'll bring it up again as a pro tip. You got to respond to every review, positive and negative. Now, this next slide talks about how reviews can send you, hot pre-qualified leads. This is a little sample, from an email.
So if I may interject for a minute. So
yeah.
you say you must make sure that you respond to every review. Now, how I want to be able to kind of drive home the fact that somebody might say, hey, I don't have the bandwidth and I don't have the staff. Why do you think that investment's important? They don't have to do it themselves, obviously, or they can outsource that. But why do you think that is important, an important investment?
Well, it's important because we're talking about it's important to Google. So when we talk about doing business online, you've got to play by these rules. And it's important to the people who read the reviews because your responses are shown right up against it, right? So it's good for the algorithm, but mostly it's good for the algorithm because it's good for people and it's good for you doing the right thing in business, right? So finding and keeping customers is arguably the job of a business. And so saying thank you to the people who were kind enough to take the time and energy, and then responding to issues that come up in your business. So we know that the people that read reviews read the replies. Is that good?
Yep, that's good. Yep. Thank you.
Excellent. So this is just an email that, that this was a lead and they just, looked at some pictures, but then they went out and looked at the reviews and they were kind of pre-sold by going out and seeing a preponderance of great reviews, right? So what do they do? How many do they look for? Well, some of these numbers that they want to see, 10 reviews in their decision-making process, right? You probably need like 6 to 10 to even be trusted. Well, have they even helped 6 people? Do 6 people like them in the whole world? So you've got to meet some thresholds, right? And we think the number's higher, some of our insight from our Google mentors and our study talks about having a minimum of 10 reviews and building one every month, right?
Right.
And this is kind of the game changer, right? Because, people look at online reviews as much as personal recommendations. It's the currency of today's online world. It's today's word of mouth, right? And we see this in our actions. Like after somebody tells you about a business, an associate, your neighbor, your mom, well, the first thing you do is go look those guys up online, right?
Yep.
And so, and then what do you do? Or who would you call first? This slide talks about, maybe 27% would be go with the cheapest one, and 18% would be, who's the one that came up first, but 56%, and often the majority, they're looking for somebody they can trust, right? A reputable business. And there's very few ROI stats around this. This one is from Yelp, and it talks about basically like a half-star rating, like going from a 4 to 4.5 or something, right? These restaurants can see a 19% lift in revenue.
That's significant.
It's tremendous, right? There's other ones that are in there, but you just got to know in your heart, like everybody looks at them. It's a factor, right? So, like there's a couple things in the world, right? So referrals is sort of like an old school, right? In review marketing. And if we kind of do a little side by side, we talk about referrals being kind of a one-to-one and private, and they're kind of finite, and they're not necessarily an asset to the company. They're great. We want them. We love them. A bunch of my business is done on referrals, right?
Right.
But if we start talking about review marketing, it's more like a 1 to thousands. There's lots of eyeballs on your reviews because it's public. And again, building permanent digital assets. They're perpetual. They're out there. It really becomes an asset to the company. So we like to say, like a review is sort of a public referral, right?
Yeah.
And we would ask the question like, well, which is more powerful? Now, in my mind, review marketing, right?
Well, yeah, it's scalable. One to many versus 1 to 1. That's, without a doubt, review marketing wins.
Absolutely. And so we call it reputation marketing, right? And so let's get into some real tips, right?
Yep. We love tips.
Let's give some value. Like there's definitely some do it yourself stuff, right? So we said this before, Google My Business recently renamed the Google Business Panel, right? You're going to claim it, you want to verify it, fill out all the fields in it, and then start asking. There's a bunch of people that don't have a hard time with that step, but you're going to have to get over it. Like, how did we do, right? And frankly, it's just smart business to get feedback from your customer base, right? And then technically, you can get a review link from Google, like in the back end of your Google business profile, or you can send them to Facebook or some of these other places. And so you not only got to ask it, but you got to make it easy. Like, imagine like, I see the people do this. They're like, well, go look us up on Google, leave us a review. Okay, that's good. I mean, you're doing something right. Better. Here's a hard link. Goes to the page that pops up the leave a review box. That's better. And you can do this all over the place. You put it in your email signature. How do we do? Please leave us a review, right? And that way you're basically asking everybody, if they're looking down there. And we talked about this before.
Yep, the three
There's
pillars.
a couple pillars, right?
Yep.
You manage, you gotta know what's going on, right? That monitoring part, like knowing when you get bad ones. Build, you certainly got to be growing your review count and frequency. In marketing, that's when it really shows off, right? And so we'll dig into some of these things. So monitor your reviews. So Google's going to be not bad. They're going to send you an email, right? But if you're doing it right, you're looking at a bunch of things, like not just Google. We do that because it's kind of the keystone piece, but there's lots of directories. And so you want to monitor them, reply to every review. We kind of covered that. Asking for reviews, in person, right? Get email, maybe a follow-up email. We have actually an amazing automated follow-up email system that asks them for a review. Ooh, here's a good one. The asterisk on here for the people listening. Pro tip: do not incentivize reviews, against terms of service for virtually every review platform. So like, leave us a review and we'll give you a coupon or whatever, right? Or leave us a good review and we'll leave you a coupon. And then here's the magic: leverage them, right? So take those reviews and put them on your website, right? And show them off on social media, etc. I mean, it's good that you got them, and they could go out and find them, but it's also really great to put them in front of the people, right? And this is a little foreshadowing. One of the free gifts today will be this reputation report. And so hopefully by now you're convinced that you need to at least find out what's going on and hopefully take action and start addressing some of these. So this is a gift to all the people. And we're happy to deliver value to your audience.
Certainly appreciate it. This is great. This is a great opportunity. And we're going to have that information in the show notes for the folks that are just listening. So you can have access to the link to be able to get this gift that Greg has shared.
Awesome. So full transparency, we do this, but this is also how a good review company we think should work, right? So starts with the review. And so, we capture them, so instead of just maybe sending them to only like one site, like the Google review link, we have a feedback page that captures it. Here we are, we talk about the monitoring, how do you know what's going on? Like, you don't want to be the roofer. It's like, oh, sales dip this week. And they come to find out that they had a bad Google review, and that's the guys, people are looking at it, and they're losing in search, and they're losing and getting chosen, right?
Mhm.
And those things can come into the internal staff, right? In the form of alerts and reports, right? But then we keep going, we help people get reviews online. Well, you should show, I shouldn't say we, like, you should do this, like redirect them to get reviews online, market your reviews online. Put them on social media. You probably see people doing that, right?
Yeah.
We, instead of taking a screenshot, you can turn them into fancier pictures, right?
You're like infographics and
Yeah. Ooh, here's one review commercial. Talk about marrying two powerful forces online. Because give people what they want, right? Reviews in the format they want, video.
right.
And then here's some more ways you can turn them into images, right? And so in our world, in our service, our full feature thing, we market them online, and we actually do this thing called retargeting, where when then people come to your website, then you can market to them when they leave and they go to other sites that have ads. You've seen them, banner ads, they call them, right? They're the top and the bottom and the side. And so we show off that reputation. So a good program, ours or somebody else, or do it yourself, people can do all this themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be doing these things, right?
And definitely would love to have you come back and talk to us about retargeting at some point in the
Oh
future.
boy, what? How many favorite things do I have? Yeah, and again, if it's super powerful, like 90th percentile, like a bunch of people leave your site, and if you're not doing this, you're losing them. Now we'll take you up on that. And that's actually a perfect segue, because now we're going to jump into video. In the numbers, I think I got to up these since my slide deck, right?
Mhm.
They're watching video content all the time, right? I know these numbers are higher. I think it's over 90% right there. And this number's higher. Like, they want more video, right?
Right.
Their favorite type of thing that people watch. And I think even this number's higher. I don't know, at 19, I got to get in here. I've been giving this talk for a little while. It's been a powerful force for a while.
Yeah.
So
I mean, these numbers were, are still pretty good. I mean, even if they're on the conservative side. Yeah.
oh, this was compelling back then. It's just this trend just keeps going, right?
Yeah.
More homework for Greg. All right. So, I talked about this in my ebook. Search engine. So Google owns YouTube. They're always looking for video results because that's what people want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one here is 53 times more likely. So properly optimized. So there's some things we'll tell you, about putting the video up there right. So then we keep going. Engagement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we get technical, we would call it like dwell time, like bounce rate. Google helps. It's a ranking. SEO. If they stay on your site, you get some lift in the Google eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so part of doing that is having a video. And so this extra engagement can make all the difference for them doing. I mean, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to click? Do you want them to call? Do you want them to order? It's like different businesses want different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just did one for auto repair shop. They don't want electronic bookings. They just, call. But it gets them to stay, right? So helping the engagement. And, there's B2B and there's B2C, but it's really person to person. And so this is another way, right? So video helps make that connection, right? And we talk about these timeless marketing strategies of know, like, and trust. So that can help you get through that process, right? Make sense?
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. it's more personalized, and they get to kind of see you in action and in motion, and they get to be able to judge for themselves.
And now these days, I mean, like I told you, I've been here since like the dial-up days and nothing. Now, hey, you just grab this thing, you can just send them a video right off the bat.
Yeah, things are more advanced now.
Even easier. And we think because of those reasons that it accelerates the sales process, right? Because they sort of have to find you and then meet you, and then you can close the sale. And so you can kind of shortcut that, right? Because they basically met you,
Right.
And if they watched a video or two of yours, the older school days would say like, oh, a client needs 7 touches or something like that, right?
Right.
Well, that's 7 touches in today's world, today's online world. That could happen in like a day. They saw your site, they looked you up on social, they watched a video, they got an email. So we really think that it helps accelerate the sales process. And my 5th favorite, leverage, right? Again, we're talking about highest and best use of time, taking advantage of the biggest forces online today. And this one, how about this? Do the work once and it keeps going for you 24/7. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
And look at this. I got to update this one. There's more places you can put video now, right?
Yep. Instagram, all over the place. Yep.
Yeah, I know. And I did
TikTok.
I did my ebook and I'm gonna have another column over here. I probably put, another half again as much in here or better.
Yeah.
And then another pro tip. You can't really put video in an email, but you could and should link to a video in an email, right? And the tip is put video in the subject line. And so that will get you a higher open rate.
Good tip.
Excellent. So let's keep going with them, right?
Yep.
Some of this real tactical kind of things that we talked about in the beginning. We want people to be able to get some value and get inspired and go start, right? That's the thing. Just get started. You see these, your first podcast isn't going to be great. Your first video isn't going to be great. Just get in there. You'll be more comfortable. We run video challenges to get people to get into it. So here's one thing, keep it short. And again, this was ahead of YouTube Shorts, right? When I made this slide. Now shorts are everything. We want to say 1 minute. Oh man, I was ahead of my time right here, right? Because now YouTube Shorts is a minute, Reels are a minute, TikToks, right? So all of this stuff works with a bunch of things, and it actually works with some real technical aspect in the algorithm, right? So watch time is a thing that helps your videos rank. Well, it's easier to get 100% watch time on a 1 minute video, right?
Yeah, and one of the things that we noticed, we have YouTube Shorts on our YouTube channel, and initially we weren't seeing a lot of interaction, but once we started putting in YouTube Shorts, all of a sudden the viewership just sort of skyrocketed.
It really is, and it really does, and the world is like that. And so as your relationship with them grows, as they go further through this funnel, however you want to say it, right? You can and should increase the length of the videos, right? For saying more, and if they're interested, they're going to keep watching, right? But in general, in the beginning and for a lot of the top of funnel stuff, under 3 minutes is probably a good rule of thumb. What kinds of videos do I make, Greg? Well, here we go. Tons. And there's more than one way to do it. I'm a teacher and I'm a consummate student. So, some of the people out there talk about like these 3, right? A welcome, you want to bring them in, get to know you, and then some wisdom. And I'm all about this, like sharing tips, right? Could be like frequently asked questions, right? And then wow them, like show them why your service is different. is probably as part of the stuff that you share and you teach, is like, have a unique selling proposition, have a differentiator in the marketplace, have something that makes you stand out, right? And you can share that in video.
Mhm.
And if we continue down the list, we start talking about, well, you can have explainers like on how it works. And again, customer testimonials, you know, about the story, right? You know, about the leadership, all kinds of stuff like that. Event videos, you know, are you going to have a grand opening? Are you going to have an anniversary? Are you going to have a sale, et cetera, right? And you can even stack these. Actually, another pro tip, you could and should stack, you know, videos. We train and teach on YouTube, and some of the advanced things in YouTube is to, and maybe you've seen this, and the smart people, and you can be one of them, is doing this. You get to the video and you see the guy say, now watch this next video. And so you can do this in YouTube. You can do like an end card, they call it, and you can put a link to a video. So if you think that you're going to say I got 5 tips, right? 5 frequently asked questions. And I can think about it when I'm producing it. At the end of number 1, I say, all right, now look for the button on the screen to watch the next one. Look for the button on the screen to watch the next one. And then you have a series. Now, once again, pro tip, you are doing the things that platform, in this case, YouTube, wants, is to keep people watching videos on YouTube. And that helps lift your whole channel. Now, how to create them. I showed you already. We got into this, man. I have fancy gear, I got green screen, editing software, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I do almost all my stuff on my cell phone now. There's great things you can get, free and paid apps that will help you do captioning, you know, right on it. And then there's people like, well, I don't like how I look, or I don't like how I sound, or I don't want to be on camera. Well, we got solutions for you too. You can get like a free, like say Loom has a free screen recorder, right? And you could just show your screen and talk about it. And you're still giving value, right?
Yep.
You can buy stock video. You could do a PowerPoint. And then these days, this is great. You can take a PowerPoint. I did this 3 times this week, making my my webinar. Take a PowerPoint, and you can add narration, right? And then you could save it as video. How about that? Now,
yeah.
Say you don't got time, or you need to go sell, you know, or build a deck, you know, for make 20, 30 grand. Well, then you outsource. You know, we make videos for people, or go to Fiverr. I mean, there's lots of ways to create them, right? And, you know, here's like a little event videos, right? We show as a sample. Gonna kind of work bottom up, right? Now let's go from the top. So gotta really post them out on YouTube for SEO. And you can also use that because you can embed, right? So you can put this code off of YouTube, and then you can, you know, put that on your page, and then when I click on it, it'll play either on your page, or they could go blow it up. And here's another pro tip. We like to keep people on the page, right? Keep control. Like that's what the sort of bottom thing is, right? So that's like my onlinelocalvideo.com, a site, one of them. And we have in the main frame of the page, right, the video. And so the idea is don't just send them to YouTube, because YouTube's going to do other stuff. There's other stuff on their page, like this right-hand column on their page. This right-hand column on my page is all about me. The right-hand column on YouTube is cat videos, or, you know, whatever. They're going to get lost. So that is a pro tip. And that's how you could use that embed feature mentioned up here.
Mhm.
You know, you could still have a YouTube, but don't send them to YouTube, right? And we will keep going. We told you we're giving you value, tons of value here. So how do you get SEO? Well, put your keywords in the title and the description and the tags. And so whatever they are, hopefully you know, and if you thought about it for very long, you do know your main keywords, right? But the other things that you should put in there, you know, is your company name and your location. Like, remember how in the beginning, like auto repair Denver, you know, San Antonio dentist. So when you bundle this stuff in here, technical term, long tail keyword, long tail search, that's how you get up to the top of that, right? Because that's who you want. Like, I'm on the World Wide Web. Well, fine. But I can actually only fix teeth, you know, in Denver. So this is the stuff that helps you. And then another pro tip for y'all. In the dashboard, YouTube Studio, they call it, you can do tags. And those would be, you know, like dentist, Denver, right? Keep on that example. But then we also do a unique tag that all your videos have. So mine is like, you know, Greg online local video, like one kind of like long run on unique thing. And I put that on all my videos. So remember we talked about the right-hand side of that YouTube having suggested videos. But when all your videos have the same tag, there's a good chance that your other videos are going to be showing up in that suggested side by doing this trick.
That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
I did not know that. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. You've all seen them, right? The thumbnail. That's the little thing that's representative of the video. And so make it pop, you know, it's a big, easy thing. If you have a picture, make the picture kind of tell the story. Only a few words. We have whole trainings just on a thumbnail, right? One of my most recent tips is don't duplicate the title in the thumbnail. Like if you have this longer title, don't make that the thing. Like put the benefit in the thumbnail, right?
Right.
And then once we dig in a little deeper, like YouTube, it's called your channel. You know, it's like your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page. It's called your YouTube channel, which is where your videos reside. And you get some of these same things that you do on the other platforms. You got a big header image, right? And then you want to you can put links in there. So then they could go from your YouTube channel. Oh, look at this. My video got SEO. They went to my channel and now there's a click through to my website. Ding, ding, ding. So those links. And then there's other smart things that we teach, like, so you don't have to type the same thing under every video. You can put some stuff in defaults. Here we are. These are giant, powerful forces on the internet. And this can be the highest and best use of your time and money and effort, right? Because this 90th percentile stuff. So we say, get to work now on building these long-term assets that are just going to keep helping your company. And this is our thank you page. We really appreciate the opportunity to give and to share and to bring value to your audience.
Yeah, no, this is great, and thanks for sharing this with us. I mean, I got a lot of value out of it, and in the spirit of what you just shared, I'm going to ask our audience to also, please, if you haven't done so already, to go and leave us a review on our podcast show. If you like it, go ahead and leave us a review. We certainly would appreciate it. And if you want to send us an evidence of your review, you can certainly do that as info@infhorizons.com. Greg, how can people, get in contact with you if they want to, follow your work, or if they want to ask you more questions?
Oh, well, thank you so much. You probably saw that one. It's like online local video, right?
Right.
And that's really the video side. And boy, we sure love it. But we're a full service agency. We do this because it's super powerful.
Mhm.
And we would actually have a new site where we send people, and it's I'm actually going to change my title here, happyyourmarketing.com, right?
Okay.
And so you'll see videos on there. You'll see stuff about reputation. You might see stuff about traffic, right? We talked about retargeting, another
Mhm.
giant force, right?
Mhm.
So we'd sure love to have a chance to have a discussion, get some more other valuable things, and help people, because make no mistake, it's it's a big world in this online thing, and there's lots of pieces to it. And we're subject matter experts and have services, do yourself, done with you, done for you services to take advantage of these.
Well, that's awesome. And people will get, as part of this appearance, people will get like a free online audit, like the report that you shared, right?
Oh yes, that's right. Let's give them something.
Right.
And that one, I got another one. I'm gonna change. Should I change my thing to it, or are you gonna put it in your notes? Or
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the show notes as well.
Excellent. So we'll say it out loud. Look at this. You've heard this how many times today? It's called leveragereputation.com.
Right.
So on that page, you'll see the chance for your online presence report, reputation report card, we call it. We give you letter grades,
Mhm.
on your reputation, social, traffic, website, that kind of stuff. And so so hopefully now you're like, well, this is great, but I want to do it. And so this is a great baseline to see like where you're at, like how your customers are seeing you. Now there's actually two things on that page. There's actually our free ebook, our guide to growing your reputation. So it's like, there's a twofer.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Greg, for coming on and sharing this with us. We're going to have all that information for the listening audience. We're going to have all that information in the show notes so you can take advantage of that. And Greg, we would love to have you come back and talk to us about retargeting sometime in the future as well.
Ready. Thank you.
All right. And thanks. By the way, Greg has also shared another gift that we're going to be giving out as part of our relaunch on our 1-year anniversary. So again, thanks, Greg, for that. That's going to be a special gift that we're going to be announcing in a couple of weeks.
Well, congratulations to you, man. Good on you. Like, I'm getting ready. I've done a lot of stuff.
Right.
I'm getting ready. I got booking a podcast are the things that are in my production funnel. So
all right.
Congrats. Out here in podcast world.
Yeah. I love it. It's a great channel for interacting with people. So thank you again. All right. For everyone, that's it for now. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.